G'day folks, this is Sim. Welcome back to Minecraft Done from Down Under, and today we're playing Departed, Sins of the Past, the mod pack from Iskandar, and I've been continuing on from where I've left off. Yes, I have scanned all the things. I've also done a little bit of research, some of the basic stuff, so important things like research expertise and research mastery. The research mastery is forbidden knowledge, so I'm going to have some minor warp effects on that. More importantly, I have done research on gold wand caps and the great wood wand core, so now I do in fact have a great wood wand, which holds just a little bit more than the original ones that I had, but they're doing the job quite happily, and everything's getting filled up down on the mob grinder. The other things that I've been up to with Thaumcraft, let's bring the book back up, is some fairly important stuff. So we've got the metal duplication, but the other ones that we needed were these ones here, Thaumic Flowers and Ethereal Bloom. Thaumic Flowers allows me to get Shimmerleaf if I've got some Quicksilver and just a few aspects in a cauldron. That's fairly easy to do. A little bit more complicated is to make new Ethereal Blooms. I need the Shimmerleaf, but then I need quite a lot more aspects. That's probably going to produce a bit of warp. So I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to go about that yet, because I still haven't sat down and worked out the best way to get those aspects in there without ending up with too much waste. However, there is one other thing that we want to look at. One of the options that's been added with the mod pack is the ability to convert a great wood sapling into a silver wood, and the silver wood is something that's fairly important for a couple of reasons. Firstly, they have a chance to produce a pure node, and that will definitely help, but I'm also going to need the wood if I want to progress a little bit further in Thaumcraft. The downside is they take a full pool of mana, so I've been hooking up quite a bit of coal or charcoal to get this thing full again. Also, just while I'm at it, you'll notice the trapdoor that's over there. Nothing's operating at the moment because everything's full. Once I toss this in here, I'll show you what that's there for, and I hope this works because I've never done this before. And there we go. We now have a silver wood sapling, and that is awesome. We'll be planting that a little bit later once I work out exactly where. Now, remember I mentioned previously that I was having a little problem with this switching off, and I wasn't leaving the area, so it wasn't unloading. What I figured out was happening is that occasionally it would actually bounce something out. Now, while I think about that, it said a full mana pool, but it didn't. It took a quarter of a mana pool, so I'm going to make a few of those. But anyway, you saw it happen there. It bounced up quite high. So what I've done is I've put the trapdoor there, and it seems to be catching anything that bounces up so that nothing bounces out onto the glass. Makes a little bit of a racket, but I don't mind it. The thing's clicking away anyway every time it throws the coal out. But it's a neat little trick, and it does the job. So for now, let's toss this silver wood in here. And let's bring these down here, because I have been busy on the grinder, as I said I would be. So first things first, we've got Unbreaking 3 and Looting 3 on my sword. We've got Sharpness, Efficiency and Fortune 3 of all things on my Mana Steel Axe. At the moment, just the XP boost and the efficiency on the diamond pickaxe. That's not that important because we are looking for another option when it comes to a pickaxe. And then when it comes to my armor, well, I could have done better. I wanted more absorption, I didn't really get it, so I've got projectile protection 4 on the boots, I've got protection 4 and unbreaking 3 on the legs, I've got the absorption on the chest plate and protection again on the helmet. What I have been doing in between times is enchanting up a few books. I've got some miscellaneous rubbish over here, a few better ones here. Brilliance is something that I need to experiment with. I've never heard about it before, so I have no idea what it does, and if anybody does happen to know how it works, please let me know. Then we've got a sharpness, we've got some more protections and a few other miscellaneous bits and pieces. Luck of the sea 3. I might even go fishing. Who knows what we could fish up. So obviously, because I've been grinding, I have picked up a few wither skeleton skulls, which has been good. In fact, I've got about 7 of them, so if I had access to soul sand I could summon a wither, but I don't think we'll be doing that in a hardcore world for quite a very long time. So they're just going to have to work as decorations. The other thing that I've picked up is a whole bunch of these uncommon treasure bags and the common treasure bags. So let's go through these and see what we score. Oh, not those ones yet. Oh, crikey. That's filling up fast. Alright, so what have we got so far? I'm running out of space. We've got an emerald, we've got a diamond, we've got some ender pearls. I might have to scan that because I don't think I've got any of those. Bane of blasted arthropods. Thank you so much. Alright, a whole bunch of mundane Thorncraft stuff, some knowledge fragments, a few potions which are going to come in handy, and a whole bunch of these gold coins. Let's just make ourselves a little bit more space. And more gold, which will definitely come in handy because I don't have a lot of that. Okay, let's toss the potions over here for now. What did we get? We got strength, speed, and slowness, and another speed. Okay, that's not too shabby. And we'll throw this one in here. And let's continue on, see how we go. That's a lot of emeralds, and they are actually going to prove to be very, very helpful. That's a lot of ender pearls, another golden apple, won't complain about that, and some more Thorncraft stuff. So, oh, and some bottles of enchanting. What else we got? We've got a poison potion, we've got invisibility, instant damage, weakness, and night vision. Now the night vision might be handy as well. So, oh, and obviously a whole bunch of stuff that fell behind me when I wasn't. I better pick that up quick before it all falls on the ground. Hang on a second. Oh, that's one of the notch apples. Ooh, that's a score. What have we got over here? Let's sort this out quickly. I've got no space. 2 more diamonds. Look at all of these potions. Oh my goodness gracious me. This mob grinder is going to be brilliant, and I'm going to need somewhere to put all of these potions. Is that everything off the ground? Almost. What can I throw in there? Okay, the diamonds. These crappy boots. I'm going to have to start sorting my stuff out. And what was that? An iron axe? Yep, an iron axe. I do want to go upstairs. A bit of a wind blowing, but it doesn't sound like it's too bad. Actually, we'll go up all the way upstairs first. I'll show you what I've been up to up here. So, as you can see, I've been growing a few trees. I did say I needed some charcoal. Let's have a look through here. Alright, oh, that's not too bad. I'll definitely get some wood out of that patch, and it has proven so far to be pretty safe. With this capping that I've put over the top here, it seems to be resisting the tornadoes. I've only had one come through, but it did come through because the damage was done down in this corner and over in that corner, and the trees did survive. Got a little bit of taint creeping up here, but it can't get inside the range of the flower, so we don't really have to worry about that. Now, it's possible that I might be able to grow the silverwood in here, but that's probably going to be a bad idea. I'm more looking towards extending out, so I'm probably going to have to try, I'm not sure whether I can or I can't, to actually plant it on the surface out there or below ground, roughly in the right spot. I'll work all of that out. So anyway, that's what I've been up to so far. Let's head down here, because I need to check whether these coins, I'm pretty sure, are in fact used to trade with Peck or Petch, the Thorncraft ones. But I want to have a look at these guys, because I haven't actually tried to trade with these, and I'm curious to see how they work. And these hobgoblins don't like me, so obviously I need to do something to get their attention first. I haven't played with these guys in witchery before. I've done quite a bit of witchery in the past, but these guys are all fairly new. Don't you leave. Alright, so I'm going to keep those gold coins until we can figure out how to get ourselves some peck, which I believe is going to be a bit of work, because I think you need to convert a zombie into a villager, and then you can convert a villager into a peck, I think. Right, so where are we at? Well, I've made some preparations, and the preparations are for a mod called Flaxbeards. Now, I need Flaxbeards because what I'm really after is some clockwork gear, and the clockwork gear, I'll bring up the info. In fact, let's just dump these out quickly. Sorry. I'm going to have to find a barrel or something to put all of those in. So, Clockwork Phase. We'll have a quick look in here first. Alright. All of this stuff here comes with a mod called Clockwork Phase. What we're looking for at the moment is a Clockwork Pickaxe. The Clockwork Pickaxe works on tension, so it doesn't have durability as such. You just need to keep it wound, and to wind it you need a winding box. We need a few things for Clockwork Phase. We need an assembly table, pretty easy to make, but we need an iron gear. The iron gear, iron and sticks, no big deal. The winding box, that's where things start to get interesting. We need brass, and the same with the deconstruction table or the disassembler. Again, we need a lot of brass. The actual clockwork pickaxe itself requires brass. The framework, brass. Lots and lots of brass. And that doesn't even come close to looking at these gears, which basically are made up of all of these different things here, and again, the different qualities and speeds affect the quality of the tool that you're making, and that's why I said before that the emeralds were handy, because I'll be able to use those to make emerald gears. But the best all-round stuff that you can get easily is brass again. Iron is high quality, but the speed's not as good. Brass is faster, so I'm gonna have to do some experimentation. The lead, excellent quality, speed is appalling. And we can mix and match a few, so that won't be too bad, but we don't really have a lot of options, so we're going to have to make the most of what we've got. To do that, we need brass, and brass we can get one of two ways. We can make brass out of gold and iron using the Clockwork recipe. The problem is that I don't have a lot of gold. The other option is to make brass with Flaxbeards, and that requires a slightly different setup. In fact, let's bring up the book and show you how it works. Esteemed Innovation is the book for Clockwork Phase, and to make brass we need zinc, which we have, and copper in a crucible. And what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make a crucible up out of clay. We're also going to have to make up a mold block, and we're going to have to make up some molds, specifically the ingot mold, but we'll get to that soon enough. The first thing we need to do is we need to get the setup, and that's what this is all about. So give me a sec to get some stuff together, and we will see about smelting metals with Flaxbeards. Okay, let's see if we can make this happen. So the first thing I'm going to need to do is some crafting. We're going to need to make ourselves up a crucible, and we also need to make up a mold, and then we also need to make a blank mold. And I'm not sure exactly how we craft this into what we actually need it to be. So let's see if right clicking gives us something. No. Okay, so how do we make this mold? We need a carving table, so we're going to need 2 molds. Alright, we can do that. And we're going to need, was it wood? Yes, it was just plain wood. So back over here, and one of the, oop, no, might want to grab the wood first. Oh, there was supposed to be 2 in there. How rude. Try again. Carving table. Alright, where are we going to stick this? Good question. Where do I want it? Over here should do fine, I think. Let's hope the thing doesn't catch on fire. We will find out soon enough. Alright, so do I have to click on this with the blank mold? A nugget mold? Plate mold? Or an ingot mold? Okay, now this is where it gets tricky, because I'm not sure how to place this thing here. The crucible I don't have any problems with, but this does mention a facing. So what we'll do is we'll whack the crucible in first. And that works like that, and we should be able to put a lever maybe here, probably not. Yeah, didn't think so. That's okay. Should be able to put it then in there instead, and that will allow the crucible to automatically rotate. Or we could put a button there and do it with a button, but I think the lever will do for now. Now the mould, on the other hand, needs to be placed in a certain facing. So let's try this way first. No. And there should be an input and an output, and I'm not sure which way it works. Hopefully I've got it right. Let's take the ingot mould, whack that in there. Okay, so see, it looks to me like the input is over here. So let's see if we can break this out of here. And oh, hang on. No, it would have gone into, whew. Okay, I was worried there for a minute. So I'm guessing I probably can place it this way. And if we place that in there like that, well, that may work, or that may be backwards. Let's try and find out, shall we? We're going to need some ore, and I'm not sure what the capacity of this thing is, but this should be enough to get us started. So let's just throw in one of each. So one of those. Oh, not all of them, you goose. Alright, and has that filled it up? Looks like it has. Hang on a second, let's see if any copper will go in there at all. It should fall into my inventory. Okay, so at the moment we have zinc and brass. It does look like it's full, and I'm guessing it's going to empty from the top first, so I don't think there's any way to change what's in there as to what's at the top and what's at the bottom. Oh, okay, clicking on it will manually operate it, and that has, whoops, not there, that has produced a zinc ingot. Yes, except we don't want zinc ingots. we want brass. So it looks like what we're going to have to do is empty out about 6 zinc ingots or so to get down to the brass, and then we'll see if we can get our proportions right. From the looks of things, it holds about 10, so probably 3 and oh, maybe not. Let's see how we go. It should change color when it gets to the brass. Hopefully. We're up to 6 now. 6 and whoop, hang on. Oh yeah, we got a brass. Now why did it not change colour? That seems a little odd. I've seen it change colour before. There we go. Alright, so we're going to have to try and get this right again. So this is going to be a slow process, by the way. I'm not sure how to go about automating the feed into here so that we actually get the proportions right. So let's just start off by throwing in maybe 3 copper. Now the colour's changed, and it tells us that we've got a bit of copper and a bit of brass. So we'll throw in 3 more copper and an extra zinc. And it looks like it's poured out some copper ingots just to annoy us. We'll see if we've got enough in here to completely empty it. Doesn't seem to take a lot per ingot. 27 down to 18, so that's 9. Which again would probably be about right, and then 9 again. So let's try doing it like this. Let's turn this off for a second, and I'll get my numbers right. It should be 2 zinc plus 6 copper should go in, and any more than that would probably be over full. That looks like it's all brass, so we'll crank this up. And we're cooking. Now, it's going to take me a while to cook up all this brass, so I think now's a good time to cut out. Okay, so we've got nearly 2 stacks of brass. The last of it's just drifting out of there now. We're going to use pretty much all of it, so let's get started. We're going to need to switch over here from Flaxbeard to Clockwork Phase. And it sounds like the wind's blowing up. And we're going to start with the basic stuff, which is going to be a clockwork assembly table, which means we need to make an iron gear. So I'm going to need to get a little bit of iron. Now, while I do that, some of you who are familiar with the mods might be wondering why I haven't crushed the zinc. And the reason I haven't done that is that the crusher setup that's used by Flaxbeards isn't as efficient as the ore doubling that you get from the Crucible. And not only that, it's clunky. It takes a lot of setup and a lot of work to get it all up and running. And to be perfectly honest, for the amount of zinc that I'm likely to need early game anyway, it's not worth the effort. So I can dispense with the ore doubling for the zinc, but I do want to extract as much copper as I can because it's a 3-to-1 ratio. So first things first, we're going to need a bunch of sticks. So let's grab, that should hopefully do us. Oh, that's right, I can't shift click out of this table. It's a neat idea, but it definitely has some issues. Might even have a look around and see if there is a better replacement for this available and make some tweaks. We'll see how we go. Anyway, that gives us our iron gear, and we're going to be using it to make up clockwork assembly table, which is pretty straightforward. We are going to need a little bit more wood, so we'll throw that there, and that gives us our assembly table. The next thing that we need is, well, I don't need the disassembler straight away. It's going to be useful, but it's not critical. I will most definitely need a winding box though. So the winding box is brass and iron, and I should have grabbed more iron. I should have thought about this a little bit harder. Alright, so let's just grab all of this iron for now, and we'll go from there. So the winding box and some brass, and there we go. So we've got our assembly table and we've got our winding box. Where am I going to stick this? I'm going to be using this quite a bit, so I think we'll stick it up the front here somewhere, but I don't know whether I've got enough space. Actually, what we'll do is we'll whack it in the corner here. I'll move that later. So we'll put the assembly table there, the winding box down there, and we probably need to throw that torch back up just to make sure that we don't have any dark areas. Let's do a quick scan just to be sure. Yeah, we're good. Alright, too easy. In fact, there's a torch there. I don't really need that one down on the floor anyway. Nah, we're good. Alright, so what do we need to do? Well, the first thing we need to do is we need to make a mainspring. And to make a mainspring, we're going to need a crafting table. And we're going to take, let's see if my memory is good, a stick and some iron ingots. And that gives us a basic mainspring with a tension of 2000. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to make up some gears. I'm getting a little bit of lag for some reason. I'm not sure whether it's the storm or whether there's something else going on. Let's turn this thing off. It shouldn't be having any effect, but definitely getting some issues with lag right now. My frame rate is really tanking. Let's see whether the storm fixes that. In the meantime, whoop, back over here. We want a bunch of gears, and the gears are pretty much the same all the way through. So I want a whole, yeah, definitely getting some lag. And give me that there, and we'll spread that around as well. Not quite enough, because I want 9 of them. In fact, maybe not 9, maybe we'll go with 8, because I've got some other bits and pieces that I can use. So let's just craft up 8 brass gears. And let's just have a quick look over here. Currently I have a precious charm which has memory. Now it doesn't have quality or speed, unfortunately, but that doesn't matter because the memory will play a part as this tool develops. Now I've also got some ancient coins and some notes in a bottle, but neither of those have as much memory as the precious charm. I've also got these rusty gears, but the quality and speed on those is absolutely shocking, so we're not really going to use those at this stage of the game. So what we are going to do is we are going to take the torch out of there, and we're going to place all of these gears into the Clockwork workbench. And we're also going to add in the precious charm. So we've got 9 slots that we can fill. Now, depending upon the quality of the gear, it will certainly affect the quality of the tool that we're making. And while I think about that, stuff doesn't stay in there, by the way. I just remembered we got a bunch of emeralds from the grinder. So what I might do, I'm going to be 1 stick short. Hang on a sec. I'm going to take advantage of this. Actually, no, I'm not 1 stick short. 12. Yep, you know, that's 3. So, yeah, we're fine. Get these the right way around. You watch. I'll have this wrong now. Here we go. 3 emerald gears. Well, it will be when I get the rest of the sticks in place. Okay, now the emerald gear quality, as you can see, is dramatically higher than the brass gear. Now, how these work is quality determines how efficient the item is, and speed determines the overall effect. So for a pickaxe, it mines faster. For a sword, it does more damage. For armor, it makes it a lot stronger and better protecting. So I can also make diamond gears, which are almost the reverse of the emerald gears, but I don't have a lot of diamonds at the moment. And more importantly, we can take stuff apart. That's what the disassembly table is for, but we're not going to worry about that right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back here, put these 3 emerald gears in, and not all of the brass ones, but enough, and the charm. Now we've got a quality of 205, a speed of 455, and we've also got 500 memory. So that's the first part of our tool. The next thing that we need to do is we need to go and get some more brass. Now, how on earth did I end up with that in here? Seems a little strange. Grab the rest of our brass. And again, we're going to be using a lot of it, because I want this pick to last a long time. So what we are going to do is we're coming back over here. Now we're going to switch to this mode on the table, and we're going to whack our mainspring in there, and we're going to surround it with a lot of brass. Oops, you rotter. Let's try that again. We're going to surround it with a lot of brass. Brass is a good choice early game. Iron's not too bad, and to be honest, you can stack stuff on here and it doesn't really matter. You can mix and match to your heart's content, but only certain metals will work. So currently we have a tension of 2000. If I add one load of brass, the tension goes up to 2440. So each one adds about 2200. So if I click this through all the way, I've now got a mainspring with a tension of 181. I can take some iron and add that in, and if we look at that, 181,000 plus 1 with the iron, 197. So it's not quite as good as the brass, but it's not too shabby, and I'm going to have access to plenty of iron. Now you can go all the way up to 1 million, but it's going to take us a while to get the materials there. So now we have a mainspring and we have the clockwork, but we don't actually have the tool. So what we're going to need is we're going to need to make up one of, when I find it, these frameworks, and that's iron and brass again. So back to the crafting table, 4 iron and the remainder in brass, and now we have a framework. And if my memory serves me correctly, framework, 2 sticks makes a shovel, but what we want is a pickaxe. So there you go, and ooh, they're fancy, aren't they? Now the reason that we've been working towards this with clockwork is that clockwork gear does not break. Its durability is infinite. However, it needs to be wound. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our plain clockwork pickaxe and we're going to add a mainspring, and then we're going to add the clockwork. And now if we have a look, we can see that we've got it all in there, and we also have a 1 in 64 chance of getting some time sand. Now that's going to come into play later. Right now though, that pickaxe with no tension is pretty average, to say the least. So let's wind it up, and that's what the winding box is for. And we're going to take the winding box with us because it's going to wind out. So let's head downstairs, find one of my mining tunnels, and let's see what this beastie is like. And remember, this is only early game. As we build up this clockwork, it's going to turn into a real beast of a pick. Whoops, and as you can see from that there, it's already getting a little bit beastly. Oops, I got the hiccups. Alright, so down here, I've still got some absolutely shocking lag for some reason. It's frame lag. Now, I've got a feeling that there might be lava behind here, but let's find out. It might also be silverfish, so let's just stand back a little bit. There we go. No. Oh, sand. Okay, well that's handy, but I don't need sand right now to show off what I'm doing here. So let's just throw a torch in there. Whoa! And yeah, that lag, I'm going to have to figure out what's going on. I wonder if my machine's decided to go and do a virus scan or something like that. Oh. It was showing something could spawn down there. That's not very cool. Let's try... which way do we want to go? Just want to find a tunnel that I haven't mined too much of. This one will do. Alright, let's crank it up. So as you can see, with the brass, this is a pretty decent pick. It's fast, it will mine pretty much everything, and the only downside is, as you can see from the durability bar down there, it winds down, but then we just place down the winding box and wind it back up, and we get back to mining. And I will certainly show you a little bit more about how this beastie works in the next episode. But as it stands, we have reached that point where it's time to wrap this one up. So I'm going to do some serious mining now that I've got a fast pick, and I will meet you guys in the next episode. I certainly hope you enjoyed this one. I look forward to seeing you all again soon, and until then, take care of each other, everybody, and ciao for now.